Hey, what's going on, my friend? Nathan here from nathanargenta.com. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the 5 best Vanguard ETFs for building a diversified retirement portfolio. Now, real quick, if this is your first time on my channel, welcome. I talk about anything from marketing to entrepreneurship, making money online, and investing. So if that sounds like you and you're interested in getting videos on those topics, then I invite you to go ahead and click the subscribe button as well as the bell notifications button to get updates of any time I come out with new videos here on my channel. So again, today's video is on the 5 best Vanguard ETFs to help you build a diversified retirement portfolio. What we're going to go over briefly in this video is the ticker symbols of all the ETFs I'm going to share with you, the overall summary or performance of these ETFs, okay? And then lastly, I'm going to go over how you can purchase these ETFs, what broker or robo-advisors that I'm recommending for you to help you get started and fund your retirement portfolio with these specific Vanguard ETFs. And that will be at the end of this video. So make sure you watch the whole way through the end, all right, to get all the information you need, the ticker symbols, the overall performance and summary of these ETFs. And then lastly, the broker or robo-advisors that I'm recommending for you to get started that's user-friendly, beginner-friendly, and the easiest and best way for you to manage your portfolio at no extra cost to you, no advisory fees, no commissions. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna jump on my computer and I'm gonna share with you these 5 best Vanguard ETFs. Hey guys, Nathan here, welcome back. So the first Vanguard ETF I'm gonna share with you is with the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. The ticker symbol for this is VTI. All right, so the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, this one, VTI, is really just an overall summary of the stock market, from large cap to mid-size cap to small cap stocks. All right, a diversified portfolio across multiple different sectors, across growth and value style stocks. All right. And like I said, it's multiple different sectors for this portfolio. It is a nice large blend of domestic stocks, all right, domestic in the United States. And this risk portfolio, the risk of it is on a scale from 1 to 5, it's a 4. But the nice thing I like about VTI is it's overall one of the most diversified ETFs on Vanguard. And this is the first one that I recommend obviously for you. And I highly recommend it in your portfolio for a diversified retirement account. All right, the Vanguard ETF, the VTI one here I have for you, this is just the performance over the past 10 years. All right, and the growth of it, if you were hypothetically to have grown the account starting at $10,000 and where it would be at 10 years later. All right, and then if you look at some of the diversification of this exact ETF, this one, you can see the breakdown, the percentage of the different sectors, all right, that have the diversification in this ETF. So anything from consumer services to financial, healthcare, oil and gas, technology, utilities, etc. Also, you can see the 10 largest holdings or stocks that are in this ETF, the VTI. Some of them such as Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Tesla, Visa, Procter & Gamble, and so on. All right, so those are the top 10 in this ETF, the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, which again, the ticker symbol for this one is VTI. The second ETF that I want to share with you is the Vanguard Information Technology ETF. The ticker symbol for this is VGT. All right, so this is basically a tech ETF with all the major technology stocks, all the major technology companies, all right, that are just diversified from multiple different types of technology stocks, and I'll get to that here in a second. But it's the goal of this one really is a growth stock. All right, so it's going to be even more risky, but potential for more growth. All right, so from a scale of 1 to 5, the VGT, all right, the VGT ETF, the tech one, is from a 1 to 5. It is a 5 on the scale for the risk scale and the potential of risk for that. Now again, high risk, high reward for this ETF. Sorry, just so many different letters and etc. But anyways, so the Vanguard, all right, growth stock for technology, all right, VGT. You can see the performance of this one over the past 10 years, all right, just from a growth scale is pretty incredible. And then looking at the performance, or I'm sorry, the portfolio as a whole, just the different diversification of these the different tech sectors. All right, you have anything from application softwares, electronic components, you have internet services and infrastructure, IT consulting, semiconductors, which is really big with the 5G going on right now. AT&T, Verizon, they're implementing 5G, all right, T-Mobile, throughout the United States and throughout the world primarily. The 10 largest holdings in this ETF: Apple, Microsoft, Visa, Adobe, PayPal, etc., MasterCard. So those are the primary 10 largest holdings in this ETF. Again, this is a growth ETF. It's all about growth. It's all about growing your account for big time growth. All right, not as high of a yield, but again, high risk, high reward. All right, with this ETF. Again, that is the Vanguard Information Technology ETF, ticker symbol VGT. The third Vanguard ETF that I want to share with you is the High Dividend ETF. The ticker symbol for this is VYM. So the Vanguard High Yield ETF, this one's really focused on the high yield percentage, and any type of dividend payment, you want it to be a good consistent dividend. Anywhere from 2, 3, maybe 4% is a good dividend. The high yield dividend pays those higher yields. All right, so you're getting a higher percentage. But also these are from very valuable stocks that are from, a lot of them are from the VTI ETF I gave you, the total stock market. All right, so I'll give you some examples there. But from a risk perspective, from a scale of 1 to 5, it's at a 4. All right, and some of the, I'll get to that here in a second. The growth of this stock, as you can see, has been pretty incredible as well. Even though it is a yield stock, it still has a lot of those VTI stocks in it, as well as some other ones that are more geared towards just overall higher dividend yield and maybe not as high in growth. All right, so it's going to scale your growth down, but it's going to pay a higher yield percentage, which helps you compound those investments over a long period of time, which is basically free money working for you, all right, as you can build and grow your retirement account. The main sectors in this ETF, as you can see, basic materials, consumer goods, financials, healthcare, oil and gas, technology, telecommunications, utility. So it's nice and diversified, just like the VTI, the total stock market ETF, but you're getting the ones that pay the highest or higher yield stocks in that specific ETF and just transferring it to a higher yield ETF. All right, so that is Nathan here from Nathan. Sorry about that. That is the High Dividend Yield ETF, VYM, and the top 10 holdings in it are Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, JP Morgan, AT&T, Comcast, Bank of America, are just some of the main top 10, some of the examples in the top 10 largest holdings in this ETF. Now, real quick, something pretty cool that you guys can do also is that as you're going through these Vanguard ETFs on Vanguard at Vanguard.com, is you can go to the price and performance tab. This price and performance tab, you can even compare the performance, all right, of ETFs. And we're going to do the first three for you real quick, since these ones are more on the growth scale as well as dividends. So again, I'm comparing the VYM, which is the high yield ETF. I'm going to compare it to this total stock market ETF. And then I'm also going to add in the tech, which is VGT. All right, the information tech ETF. Wow. So as you can see, the overall total stock market ETF compared to the high dividend yield ETF has outperformed regarding growth, but again, it pays a higher dividend, it pays a higher yield percentage, which compounds and grows longer over time, which actually probably is a better result compared to the VTI. But from a growth perspective, look at the VGT, the information tech ETF. This you can see is incredible growth over that time frame of 10 years, as if you invested $10,000. All right, and just the growth projection of those three ETFs just as an example, and you can do this with any of the ETFs. You can do it with all 5 that I share with you today, but I just want to kind of just give you that quick tip as you're using and looking up these ETFs, or maybe even other Vanguard ones that you're thinking about adding to your diversified retirement portfolio. The 4th Vanguard ETF I want to share with you is the real estate ETF. The ticker symbol for this is VNQ. All right, so the Vanguard Real Estate ETF, this one from a risk perspective is from 1 to 5, it is at a 4. All right, so risk perspective, the potential of this being a risky ETF is at a 4. Overall, the real estate ETF has gotten hit pretty good in regards to being negative because of the pandemic, because of COVID-19 hitting here the previous spring, over the winter and spring. But regardless, I think this ETF still is a great ETF for long-term growth, long-term gains. And it also does pay a great and good high yield percentage for your investment. And again, it's more diversification, right? You already have stocks, you already have stocks that are anywhere from technology, right? Consumer goods, you have stocks that are oil and gas, utilities, you have consumer stocks, right? You have a whole bunch of different stocks in that sector, financials, energy stocks. You just have all these different sectors, but you don't have real estate, right? You don't have the real estate stocks or ETF. So we want to add this to our portfolio to make sure it's diversified, all right, when it comes to investing with Vanguard. So I highly recommend this one still, even though it maybe hasn't performed as well. Again, it's about long-term growth and long-term sustainability. And the nice thing is this ETF does pay a high yield percentage. So some of the sectors in this ETF, you have anything from healthcare REITs to hotel and resort REITs, industrial, office, residential, real estate. You have retail REITs, just to name a few. All right. And then the top holdings in this one is actually the Vanguard Real Estate Index Fund, American Tower Corp. You have Crown Castle, Digital Realty Trust, Welltower, Public Storage, etc. All right, so those are the top 10 largest holdings in that ETF. Again, the ticker symbol for this ETF is VNQ for the Vanguard Real Estate ETF. So the 5th and final Vanguard ETF I'm sharing with you is with the long-term bond ETF, ticker symbol BLV. Now the reason why I'm picking BLV is because, again, you want to have good diversification. The nice thing is with bonds or investing with Vanguard or any other ETF is bonds are going to pay that growth, that percentage. It's going to pay you long-term and it's less risky. All right, so this ETF actually has the less amount of risk out of all the ones that I shared. From a risk scale from 1 to 5, it is at a 3. All right, again, it's a long term, so you're holding this long term, you're building that, compounding that, and it pays a high yield percentage as well. So again, those yields are going to be paying you cash on cash on cash and stacking and compounding over time. All right, so the performance of this from a start of 10,000 all the way up to 2020, all right, 10 years is almost $10,000. All right, growth. And that doesn't include, or it does include the compounding over time. So it's just a nice growth. As you can see, it's pretty consistent for it over that time period, just continuing to go up. And again, it's lower risk, all right, lower risk ETF. So that is the Vanguard long-term bond ETF. If you're interested in this one, again, the ticker symbol for this ETF, this bond ETF, is BLV. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do for you is I'm going to share with you the 3 best robo-advisors or brokers for you to invest in these ETFs that I share with you today. So the first one I want to share with you is with M1 Finance. The second one is with Robinhood. And the third one is with Webull, okay? So I will include a link in the description to each one of these. Those are actually my referral links, and you're gonna get either $10 to $20 depending on the promotion by using my referral link and investing and funding your accounts, all right, and investing in those ETFs that I shared, or possibly even some free stocks, all right, 1 or 2 free stocks in those in those brokers, all right, depending on the promotions and what they have available, you're gonna get something, either $10 to $20 or maybe even a free stock, which could be hundreds of dollars for that stock by using my referral link. Just by simply doing that, you get some free money or some free stocks, which is pretty cool. Also, if you are interested in learning more about M1 Finance, Webull, or with Robinhood, I'm going to include a link in the description as well to a video I did recently. So depending on when you're watching this, it could be weeks, months, years, who knows. It's going to be based off the 3 best stock investing apps. All right. I'm going to include a link in the description, like I said, or link up here. All right, there's going to be an option to click and watch that video. It's going to take you to that video so you can learn more about M1 Finance, Webull, and Robinhood. All right, so that concludes today's video on the 5 best Vanguard ETFs for helping you to build a diversified retirement portfolio. If you did receive value, go ahead and smash the like button. Leave me some love in the comments. Let me know what type of value that you received. Any feedback, guys, is greatly appreciated. Also, make sure you share this video with someone that you know who you think can receive value from it as well. And last but not least, do not forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notifications button. That way you get updates of any time I come out with new videos here on my channel. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. I will see you in the next one, and make it a great day.